Right, we've got UFC Noche this coming weekend. This is going to be my main card quick picks. Kicking off the main card, you got Li Kwang taking on Santiago Luna. Luna, he's 21 years of age, making his UFC debut. He's 6-0, he's undefeated. Whilst Li Kwang, lost his first two in the UFC, won last time out. He's 9-2 overall, but 1-2 in the UFC. He's potentially fighting for his UFC career, so he's going to be coming in hungry to knock back the young, undefeated prospect in Santiago Luna. Do I see him getting it done? It's going to be a tricky one to call because I don't know too much about Luna, but you know what? I'm just going to back the young, hungry fighter in the UFC debut. So, yeah, I'm backing Santiago Luna to make Li Kwang go 1-3 in his UFC career. Next up, we've got Alexander Hernandez taking on Diego Ferreira. I'm just going to get into it. Alexander Hernandez has been looking great recently. He's won his last 3 fights, last time out, stopping Chase Hooper in the first round. I just see him being able to get the job done and get it over on Diego Ferreira. So I'm backing Alexander Hernandez to get the victory in this one. Following up after that, we've got Kelvin Gastelum taking on Dustin Stolfus. I think I said that right. But anyway, I'm backing Kelvin Gastelum in this. I think he's very well rounded. He's going to be quicker than Dustin. So I just think he's going to utilise his footwork and he's going to be in and out. He's going to pop shot. He might mix in the wrestling. And I can just see him getting the victory in this matchup. Then we got Rafa Garcia taking on Jared Gordon. I just think Rafa Garcia, he's going to be able to mix in the combinations and potentially stop any grappling wrestling attempts of Jared Gordon. And for that matter, I am backing Rafa Garcia in this fight. Now this one's a tricky one for me. You got Rob Font taking on David Martinez. Rob Font, he's 38 years of age. He's 11 years older than David, but he's about 3 inches tall and he's got about, I think, 3.5, 4.5 inches reach over David Martinez. So yes, he's the older fighter, which typically at 38 years of age within this division isn't a good look. But then he's the rangier, bigger man naturally. You know, David Martinez apparently he's like 5'4". It's a pretty small geezer, let's be honest. So Rob Font, he's technically sound, but David Martinez, he's very composed and he puts things well. He puts his punches well together. He mixes it up. So I think I'm going to lean towards Rob Font, though. The experience, he's been in there with the best of the best at times. And like I said, he's the bigger, rangier guy. I think he'll be able to control the distance and get the job done against David Martinez. And then we're into the main event. You got Diego Lopes taking on John Silva. It's going to be a cracking fight. But how do we see it going? You got Diego Lopes, who usually throws caution to the wind. He comes forward and he lets his hands go. But last time out, he got a bit kind of stuck in the mud against Alexander Volkanovski. He didn't really know what to do at times until them later rounds when he did start to think, I just need to let him go. A lot of the time he was kind of waiting. He was waiting for Volkanovski to go and then he would kind of throw at the same time as Alex, and he was looking to counter strike. He's not afraid to take one, to give one, and that's what he was mainly doing. But that's a risky game if he's going to play that with Jean Silva, because Jean Silva, he hits hard. He's finished all of his UFC opponents, mostly by knockout and TKO, other than last time out when he submitted Bryce Mitchell. And that was an impressive feat in itself, because really the only path to victory that Bryce had was on the ground, and Jean Silva finished him there as well. So I'm leaning towards Jean Silva in this. I think he's got more paths to victory. He clearly can finish his opponents. He's done it every single time in the UFC. And I just think it's kind of what I want to happen, if I'm being honest as well. Like, this could go either way, but I am leaning towards Jean Silva. You know, he can knock somebody out. He could potentially win a decision. We haven't seen that yet. And he can also finish on the ground. But I'm sure Lopes is very well skilled there as well. But look, Jean Silva, he would be better for the division at this moment. You know, Lopes has had a title shot. Volkanovski's the champ. We like to see get some fresh blood in the mix and some fresh opposition for Alexander Volkanovski. So I'm backing Jean Silva to get it done. And I'm going to say by a knockout, because that's what he does best. Let me know your thoughts on these fights and how you think the main event's going to go. Let me know your predictions and make sure you're following the page. Peace.